Here at the UCS Spirit National Pole Vault Summit, Brendan Safley, Northern Iowa, clears 17 2 3/4, 525 on his second attempt. 2 of the 3 attempts at 540, 17.8, which would have been a lifetime PR. Very high quality, very reassuring, very encouraging. He is the last man standing, not only in the men's elite college section, but basically every section here at the Reno-Sparks Livestock Events Center. So no better way to close down a fantastic weekend in Reno. How good did you feel on attempts 1 and 3 there at 540?
I mean, I can't tell you how good they felt. I mean, like, I felt myself over it and then just hit it on the way down or do something a little wonky in the air that made it fall. But being over a lifetime PR this early in the season, especially a bar that's that high, is really, really promising, and it makes me a lot more excited for the rest of this season. That was the biggest pole I'd ever been on in my life.
What was it, please?
A 460, or not a 460, sorry, a 490, like 17.0.
Okay.
But it's cut off a little bit, so it feels more like a 17.2. But capping that, taking rips at 540, there's no better place to do that.
Absolutely. You've been 536, so obviously this is a really optimistic sign. That a second attempt at 17 2 3/4, 525 was indicative of your entire day, and I really give you a lot of credit, because obviously after Caleb was no longer in the competition, you really had to kind of keep yourself motivated. How significant and meaningful is it that you've got a great group of teammates and brothers here from Northern Iowa that were still able to kind of keep you locked in there at the end?
I mean, it's the way that we always talk about pole vault in Northern Iowa is we like to play pole vault. We would do it if there was nobody here. If we had to set up the runway, take it down, put our bar up ourselves. I mean, it's just a fun atmosphere to go and compete with each other and try and get each other over some really high bars.
You've had so much success in Missouri Valley Conference, obviously navigated through some very challenging conditions at outdoor meets throughout your career. I know we're only on January 18th, but just what we saw today, because not only the coaching staff, the Northern Iowa community, the Safley family, and as someone that has had the blessing of watching you both indoor and outdoor during your career, like, I want to see you among those 16 guys in Virginia Beach. Like, I want to see you among those 24 guys, in June. Not just because of what we saw today, Brendan, but fall training and just, the consistency. Do you feel like this is where the breakthrough occurs?
I certainly hope so. This entire, since the end of outdoors last year at regionals, when I didn't make 530, Coover's just been in my ear saying 550 and make nationals. Those are the goals. Throw in a conference championship in there too, but obviously that's not going to be the easiest thing with Will in our conference.
Right.
We've got really good vaulters, but he's been in my ear this entire time telling me, you can do this, you are capable of doing it, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for it.
You've obviously had to also, in addition to challenging conditions, navigate on some very unique runways in your career. The fact that they've got you on the #1 pit on the A+ runway, wide, long, fast, like, just how much of a blessing is that for you? Because, even some of the best vaulters in the world don't get what you got today.
This feels like driving a Lamborghini, like going from a Toyota Corolla to a Lamborghini. It's amazing. The setup here is always amazing. This is like the coup de grace of all pole vault. This is a place to be, and so it's awesome to jump at places like this, but it also makes me a little more thankful for the places that we do jump at, maybe with not the best runways. It adds a lot more character and a lot more atmosphere to what you're doing.
Most definitely. The fact that you're a guy watching last night someone like Hunter Gerritsen that was razor thin margin away from clearing a world lead, 19 2 1/4, 585, and then obviously you have such a fantastic series today, and it's like, I always tell Steve and Chris and Brian, like all the figureheads for the UCS Spirit National Pole Vault Summit, like how special it is to have the best collegiate vaulters, because for the people that may not be aware, it doesn't count for TFers, but it always counts in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, and in the confidence meter, right?
100%.
So like, just the fact that we saw Hunter do what he did last night, obviously Amanda and Hannah do what they did last night, what you did today, let's hope it all kind of comes back together in March. But like the fact that it doesn't matter what pit, what flight, what day, that you're at the UCS Spirit National Pole Vault Summit. If everybody ends up being together in March in Virginia Beach, or in June, whether it's in Austin, Texas, or Eugene, Oregon, like that's all that matters. But like when you see that from him, like does and obviously what you did today, like does it give you more hope and inspiration?
I mean, to be 100% honest, it's so weird to hear my name and even think about my name next to Hunter Garrison or the Moles or Will Staggs even. Like, I sort of just put those guys on a pedestal and I'm just like, oh, I'm doing it on my own. I'm doing my own thing. But what you're talking about is right. I mean, it adds a lot more confidence in what we're doing, and it's sort of fulfilling to hear your name with those guys who you've been looking up to for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, your consistency at the highest level in the conference meets and in the regional meets. I mean, obviously, NCAA Indoor might be more unforgiving in some ways than even a World Indoor or Global Outdoor meet. I mean, like to only be able, especially with where we're at right now with American pole vaulting, and then you sprinkle in Amando, you sprinkle in the Guttormson family, and it's just like there's very little room at the end. But just to know that like Coach said, like 550 is attainable, and if you do that, you're probably going to book yourself a ticket. Like just all the hard work, all the sacrifice, all the commitment, Brennan, and just what an incredible ambassador you've been for UNI throughout your career. Like if everything lines up, like is this like the ideal culmination?
Oh yeah, it's been that way for a while. I came in as a 15-foot vaulter and never really thought that I'd even have a chance of being a 17-foot guy or even jumping 18 or going to nationals, and now everything's working towards that goal. So fingers crossed, I'm putting in the work and hoping it pans out.
Absolutely. Again, it's only January 18th, ladies and gentlemen. He's got time, and obviously he's got all the requisite skills and the experience. Great looks, first and third attempts. Again, 17.8, 540, clear 17.2 3/4, 525 to win the men's elite college section of the UCS Spirit National Pole Vault Summit. Brennan, stay healthy. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.